Guys, the news has been wild the last few days. A lot of fear-mongering and speculation coming from politicians, news anchors, and the social media space. Some people have even gotten themselves into a panic over the situation that's been going on. We've been looking at it, and you know, we don't suggest anybody panic, because I don't think that that's necessary. But we're going to look at a couple things today. First of all, I think we might have found the company that is making the drones that people have been seeing. They're fantastic machines, even if they're not the ones, but I think they might well be. They're one of the best candidates that we've found so far. It's PteroDynamics. They have a Transwing design. It's kind of a convertible thing that can be used in multiple different configurations. So we're going to look at that. Also, we're going to look at the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission event notification report. Some people have been hyping that up. It happened on the 2nd. And so some missing radioactive material there. And we're going to look at it, and we're going to see if all of that hype is worth it. In fact, we're going to look at that right now in real time. We're just going to kind of try to be critical of it. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the article right here. So we got the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission government website right here. And on this website, you can see the report. I'll leave a link in the description. And I want you to follow along with me, and I want you to let me know if I'm doing this wrong. I'm completely open to criticism on it. However, some of the sources, I've seen on a YouTube channel already where they said this was a Cat 3 level radioactive material leak. Well, it says it right here in the report. This material event contains a, quote, less than Cat 3 level of radioactive material. And just so you know, sources that are less than Cat 3 sources are either sources that are very unlikely to cause permanent injury to individuals, or contain a very small amount of radioactive material that would not cause any permanent injury. So that is being inflated by at least one YouTube channel that I've seen out there. I'm not going to name names, but it is what it is. They're being a little bit hyperbolic on this thing. So we're going to read the report. It says that the licensee reported to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection on December 3rd, 2024, that a GE68 pin source that they sent out for disposal had been lost in transit on December 2nd. The source is a Eckert and Ziegler model HEGL 0132 with a current approximate activity of 0.267 millicuries. The shipping container arrived at the destination damaged and empty. The licensee has filed a claim with the shipper. If the source is not located within 30 days, the licensee will follow up with a full written report to include root causes and corrective actions. Okay, there's a little bit in there that we're going to look at. We're going to look at the approximate levels of radioactivity of the source. So it says 0.267 millicuries. Now, I was curious, okay, and I went and I looked it up, and I was trying to figure out how much radiation, you know, people get for diseases, you know, cancers and things like that. So it says here, this is like a PubMed article here, but it says patients may receive between therapeutically, patients may be administered 1 to 300 millicuries, depending on whether they are being treated for hypothyroidism or thyroid cancer. So that's between 1 and 300 millicuries. That is therapeutic doses of radiation. So we go back to the other article, and it is 0.267. 0.267. So, you know, 300 at the highest therapeutic dose to 0.267 kind of makes it seem very minuscule. I don't know if that matters. Obviously, no amount of radiation that's been lost, you know, sort of radioactive material that's actually been lost is a good thing. I'm totally aware of that. However, it is kind of leads me to believe that maybe there are other missing radioactive materials that maybe more dangerous, if you want to call it that, that are probably out there than this. So is this the reason that drones are running around? Are they sniffing for this? I don't know. Now this could also be on purpose. I don't want to say that that this was missing on purpose. I don't know. That would all be speculation. But another thing is that the shipping container arrived at the destination damaged and empty, right? So you think like big shipping container, like metal shipping container, but I don't think that's what this is. So that's another thing that's kind of been put out there, and it's all just the way information is perpetuated that gets people into a panic. Now, like I said, I'm not saying these drones aren't searching for something. I'm not saying that. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't like to see this information put out in a way that's inaccurate. It kind of does a disservice to that information. So this radioactive material was lost. It was maybe stolen, who knows. It's missing, yes, but how much is it? Is it a threat? This article actually says right here, it says emergency class, non-emergency. So this is classified as a non-emergency according to the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. So I would take news articles or posts on YouTube or X or whatever sensationalizing this. I would take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying it's nothing. I'm just saying it looks like we should probably just take that with a grain of salt. Now let's move on to PteroDynamics. PteroDynamics. This is the company that we believe there's a high probability that they're the ones making some of the drones that people have seen out there, or at least their design is being used. They are DoD funded. You should understand that. So we'll just read from their website real quick. I'll have a link in the description. I highly encourage you to look at it. And they have a YouTube channel as well. Definitely go look at that. Look at some of the videos and tell me if you don't think that they look familiar. Ptero, I keep calling it Ptero. It's P-T-E-R-O, and I think the P's silent. So PteroDynamics is a pioneer in autonomous vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, the inventor of the Transwing vertical takeoff and landing system that overcomes the inherent shortcomings of the current vertical takeoff and landing aircraft by combining the speed, range, and endurance and payload capacity of a fixed wing airplane, which is superior vertical and takeoff and landing performance in a simple, efficient, autonomous unmanned aerial systems platform. Now, they have a thing here. It says spread your wings. I'll tell you why, and you'll see why when you go watch the video. So these things are designed to have the traditional 4-rotor style drone that you would think about, to then expand, and it has wings, and the wings expand, and now you have more for traditional aircraft. It has a longer range, it has higher speed and greater efficiency because of that. These things are actually pretty incredible when you go and watch the video of them doing their thing. And so it can take off like a normal drone. It gets up in the air, the wings spread out. It can go very fast for long distances. We'll talk about that in a minute. And it can then slow down, come to kind of a stop in the air, turn back into that 4-rotor style traditional vertical takeoff and landing vehicle, and then land as it wants to do. So that's pretty impressive, guys. They have a few different models, and I'll see if I can get those up here. Yeah, so they have the P4, the P5, and the P7. Now the P5 and the P7, they say they're still in development, but who knows, right? And I want to look at those. The P4 is built and flying, is what they say. Now that's the lower end, well, not the lower end, but it's the smaller model. But I want to look at one of them. And you can peruse the website, and I'll keep this short. Let's look at this P7. Let's look at the specifications on this thing. Performance: 620-pound payload. Range: 1,852 kilometers. Now that is quite a range. Endurance, 9 hours, a long time in the air, guys. So these things are impressive. These things are not your average ordinary drone. They're not anywhere near it. They're on a whole new level. I'm pretty sure this guy developed them at first, and then he got the attention of the government. They have DoD funding. They're off to the races, and they have been working. And look, they got a YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm going to link to that. I'm going to link to the website. I encourage you guys to look at that. It'll take some of the mystery out of what these drones are, at least. I know there's some other things that are unexplained. I'd love to hear from you about those things if there's something you want to talk about. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys, for today. Check those things out. Let me know what you think. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Until next time, I'm out.